kindly direct your attention towards your beloved feline companion. It is highly probable that at this very moment, your cat is immersed in a state of profound slumber. Whether it is basking in the gentle warmth of the sun upon the plush upholstery of your sofa, or perhaps sprawled in a most inconvenient yet undeniably endearing manner across your vital computer keyboard, its current disposition is one of complete and utter tranquility. A creature seemingly characterized by its peaceful nature, its inherent laziness, and an appearance of utter harmlessness. Over the vast expanse of the preceding several thousand years, humanity has meticulously sculpted and disseminated the quintessential portrayal of this animal. A companion that is simultaneously independent in spirit yet demonstrably affectionate, a living, breathing testament to the very essence of domestic contentment and joy. However, it is incumbent upon us, indeed it is our fundamental responsibility, to engage in the act of critical inquiry. We are compelled to pose the uncomfortable queries, and the most pressing of these existential ponderings is as follows. What if this meticulously crafted image represents, in fact, the most extraordinarily successful instance of camouflage ever conceived throughout the entirety of recorded history? What if, concealed beneath the seemingly innocuous exterior of the plump, sedentary house pet, there resides a being whose innate predatory instincts, whose remarkable intelligence, and whose formidable physical capabilities have been, by our own admission, drastically and profoundly underestimated? We are presently initiating a formal investigation, a meticulous examination of a most intriguing subject. Our designated focus of inquiry is none other than the ubiquitous domestic feline, scientifically classified as Felis catus. The overarching objective of this endeavor is to diligently and systematically disentangle the comforting, even sentimental, myths that have become so deeply ingrained from the stark, unvarnished realities of verifiable fact, the latter of which may, indeed, prove to be rather unsettling. Throughout the course of this comprehensive investigation, we shall meticulously scrutinize all available evidence and diligently consider all pertinent testimonies, all with the singular aim of arriving at an answer to one fundamentally simple yet profoundly important question. To whom, or perhaps more accurately, to what entity are we truly sharing our domestic spaces? Prepare yourselves, for the very initial piece of evidence we shall present is poised to irrevocably alter your perception of the everyday sounds that permeate your existence. Let us commence our examination with what might be considered the most readily apparent and frequently encountered clue, the vocalization commonly referred to as the meow. This particular sound is a phenomenon we encounter with remarkable frequency, often dozens of times within the span of a single day. The cat desires sustenance, cue the meow. It expresses a demand for egress or ingress, wishing for the door to be opened. Invariably, it is a meow. It seeks your undivided attention and affection. You have undoubtedly surmised the response. It is an entirely logical and intuitive assumption to believe that this vocalization represents their natural and inherent method of communication with one another. However, it is precisely at this juncture that our investigation encounters its initial perplexing paradox. Rigorous scientific observations and extensive studies have conclusively demonstrated that adult felines in their natural, wild habitats almost invariably refrain from vocalizing the meow sound when interacting with other adult cats. Their sophisticated communication system is comprised of a complex repertoire of hisses, guttural growls, snorts, and an intricate array of body language cues. The act of meowing is, by all accounts, almost exclusively an infantile vocalization, a sound primarily employed by young kittens when attempting to communicate with their maternal figures. Yet, the moment a kitten matures and transitions into adulthood, this particular vocalization conspicuously vanishes from its established adult linguistic repertoire. This phenomenon holds true with a single, notable exception: the presence of a human being within their immediate environment. This observation compellingly leads us to formulate a crucial hypothesis that necessitates rigorous testing. Is the act of meowing an exceptionally developed and uniquely tailored tool that cats have painstakingly honed and refined specifically for the purpose of influencing and manipulating us, a skill cultivated over millennia of evolutionary adaptation? Scientific research unequivocally supports this premise. Esteemed scientists affiliated with Cornell University have meticulously documented and discovered that the specific frequency range of a cat's pleading meow typically oscillates between 220 and 520 Hz. This frequency is astonishingly proximate to the fluctuating frequency range of a human infant's cry, which characteristically falls between 300 and 600 Hz. Our very own neurological structures are inherently predisposed, indeed hardwired, to interpret these specific sonic frequencies with an immediate sense of alarm and an innate, compelling desire to offer assistance and solace. It appears, with considerable certainty, that cats have masterfully deciphered the intricate code of human psychology. They are not, in essence, conversing with us in a reciprocal manner. Rather, they are expertly triggering a deeply ingrained, ancient caregiving instinct that resides within our very being. And, as empirical experience unequivocally demonstrates, this tactic proves to be remarkably and consistently effective, without exception. The subsequent piece of critical evidence pertinent to our ongoing case concerns the remarkable faculty of feline locomotion. A cat can seemingly materialize from an unseen location, appearing as if from thin air. It executes silent, graceful leaps onto elevated surfaces such as cupboards, and subsequently descends to the ground with an almost supernatural quietude. This effortless movement creates the distinct impression that the creature is capable of defying the fundamental laws of both gravity and acoustics. However, and it bears reiteration, there is no inherent magic at play here, merely the culmination of cold, calculated evolutionary processes and the exquisite perfection of biomechanical design. We are, in essence, diligently prying open the metaphorical black box of its anatomical structure. The primary mechanism contributing to this pervasive conspiracy of silence is undeniably its paws. In stark contrast to the auditory signature of a dog's gait, which is characterized by the distinct, audible click of its unsheathed claws upon various surfaces, the cat possesses the remarkable ability to conceal its formidable weapons. Its claws are ingeniously retracted within specialized dermal sheaths, emerging only at the precise moment of an offensive maneuver or for the purpose of gaining purchase and traction on a particular surface. However, the truly pivotal piece of evidence in this regard lies within the composition and function of its paw pads. These pads are exceptionally soft, remarkably resilient, and function as sophisticated, high-technology shock absorbers, effectively absorbing both sound and impact upon any contact with any given surface. The second, and indeed even more astonishing, mechanical marvel is the very architecture of the feline skeleton. In the case of human beings, the collarbones are rigidly affixed to the shoulder joint, thereby creating a robust and unyielding framework. However, within the anatomy of a cat, the collarbone is a minuscule, freely suspended bone, entirely detached from the remainder of the skeletal structure. This ingenious feat of biological engineering bestows upon its shoulders an extraordinary degree of liberty, empowering the creature to compress its ribcage and to effortlessly insinuate itself through any aperture sufficiently wide to accommodate its head. It is, therefore, hardly surprising that its whiskers, known scientifically as vibrissae, function as an intrinsic range-finding apparatus, unfailingly determining the crucial question: can I fit through this opening or not? This remarkable capability is not a product of mere intuition. Rather, it represents the precise and calculated operation of a biological machine that appears to have artfully circumvented the established laws of physics, all for the singular purpose of achieving invisibility. We now approach what is perhaps the most enigmatic phenomenon associated with these creatures: the act of purring. For any devoted owner, this resonant sound serves as the ultimate affirmation, unequivocally signaling that the cat is content, secure, and experiencing a state of complete well-being. This distinctive vibrating sound has, in essence, become inextricably linked with the very concept of feline contentment. However, as is often the case in any complex matter, the accounts provided by eyewitnesses diverge, and the accumulated facts compel us to scrutinize this seemingly straightforward interpretation. Veterinarians from all corners of the globe will readily attest to a curious and indeed perplexing observation. Cats do not exclusively purr when they are experiencing happiness. They are also known to purr when they are enduring severe agony, when they are in a state of profound fear, and even during the final, fading moments of their existence. This striking observation completely undermines the prevailing happiness theory, compelling us to seek an alternative, more profound underlying reason for this behavior. This line of inquiry has consequently led us to formulate and subsequently subject to rigorous testing a rather astonishing hypothesis. What if purring is not primarily an outward manifestation of emotion, but rather a sophisticated biological instrument? The insights provided by physicists and bioacousticians offer us a crucial key to understanding this. The precise frequency of a domestic cat's purr typically fluctuates within a range of 25 to 150 Hz. Furthermore, biomedical research unequivocally demonstrates that it is precisely these low-frequency vibrations that possess a demonstrably therapeutic effect. They actively promote the regeneration of tissues, effectively reduce levels of pain and inflammation, and even stimulate an increase in bone density. It is entirely plausible that this remarkable regenerative capability might be the very origin of the enduring legend concerning felines possessing 9 lives. Therefore, it becomes evident that purring is far more than a mere vocalization. It is, in fact, a highly efficacious and remarkably low-cost self-healing mechanism. It functions as an integrated built-in physiotherapy device that the cat activates to accelerate its recovery from injury or to mitigate the effects of stress. What we readily perceive as a joyous serenade may, in reality, be a complex and intricate internal repair program in operation. Our exhaustive investigation has now reached its conclusion. We commenced this endeavor with a simple, yet persistent, doubt regarding the familiar and often idealized image of our feline companions. Now, having meticulously examined all the available evidence, we are fully prepared to deliver our definitive verdict. We have definitively established that the vocalization commonly referred to as a meow is not so much a form of language, as it is a finely honed instrument designed for the specific purpose of manipulating humans, skillfully exploiting our most deeply ingrained instincts. We have conclusively proven that the cat's characteristic silence is not a matter of happenstance, but rather the direct outcome of sophisticated biomechanical adaptations, which collectively transform it into the quintessential invisible observer. Finally, we have presented compelling evidence that purring is not merely an expression of pleasure, but a sophisticated, internally regulated self-healing mechanism, operating at frequencies that contemporary medical science is only just beginning to fully comprehend and explore. Every single fact that we have meticulously uncovered points unequivocally towards a singular, profound conclusion. The creature that peacefully dozes upon our laps is infinitely more complex and remarkably sophisticated than we have been accustomed to believing. It is not merely a pet, it is a highly efficient organism endowed with an array of extraordinary superpowers, possessing a secret code of communication, and harboring a hidden inner life about which we, as humans, possess almost no true understanding. The final verdict of this comprehensive investigation is as follows. The case concerning the cat's double life is hereby officially closed. The subject has been unequivocally declared a veritable genius of disguise. We coexist alongside a creature that has masterfully orchestrated our perception, allowing us to believe that we are its undisputed masters. However, after delving into the depths of its true nature, is this perception truly reflective of reality? Following our extensive examination of all the pertinent facts, there exists substantial and compelling reason to entertain profound doubt. And perhaps, this very element of uncertainty is precisely the outcome that they, in their profound wisdom, have intended all along.